Good day, here are the headlines from the Philippine News Agency. More state universities and colleges are producing medical professionals during the administration of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. compared to the previous administration, according to Health Secretary Teodoro Herbosa. During a recent sectoral meeting with the President, Herbosa says the Commission on Higher Education reported an increase in the number of SUCs graduating medical students. He says there are now 20 state universities and colleges offering medical programs, up from the previous 8 in the past administration. CHED Chairperson Prospero de Vera, meanwhile, clarified that there are already 21 SUCs that offer medical programs, while there are 3,000 scholars who chose to serve in underserved areas. He also says there are now around 3,000 doctors to the Baguio program from the previous 900. During the meeting, the DOH presented the department's National Human Resources Master Plan 2020 to 2040 that aims to address the gap in human resources for health. It also identified the need for around 190,000 personnel to fill in the gaps of the Philippine healthcare system, considering the medical professionals leaving for overseas employment and those graduating from medical and nursing schools. Meanwhile, the President thanked Her Majesty Queen Máxima of the Netherlands for her support of the Philippines' inclusive finance and financial health initiatives. The monarch, in her capacity as the United Nations Secretary-General's Special Advocate for Inclusive Finance for Development, also offered to assist the Philippines by connecting it to her development partners to share best practices, particularly in efforts to enhance connectivity. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. thanked the Djibouti government for helping Filipino seafarers affected by the recent Houthi missile attack. During his courtesy call at Malacanang Palace, Marcos thanked Ambassador-designate Ibrahim Bile Duale for Djibouti's support in rescuing Filipino seafarers after the attack on the MV True Confidence in the Gulf of Aden last March. This resulted in the death of 3 crew members, including 2 Filipinos. Surviving crew members, including 13 Filipinos, were rescued by the Indian Navy and brought to a hospital in Djibouti on the Horn of Africa, where they recovered. All Filipinos have since been repatriated. The 5 Filipinos on board the Singapore-bound flight that experienced severe turbulence on Tuesday have been declared safe. The Department of Migrant Workers confirms the 5 were on board Singapore Airlines Flight SQ321, which made an emergency landing in Bangkok. One of them was identified as a Singapore-based information technology worker who suffered a neck fracture and is now in a sensitive but stable condition. The other Filipino passengers were a family of 3, with a 2-year-old male toddler and a male passenger. The passengers are undergoing medical and physical tests in Bangkok. The DMW's Migrant Workers Office in Singapore assured that they will continue monitoring their condition in coordination with the Philippine Embassy in Bangkok. The plane was reportedly about 10 hours into its flight when it hit clear air turbulence over the Indian Ocean. At least 30 passengers, including the 5 Filipinos and those who were not wearing seatbelts around the cabin, were injured after being thrown around. A 73-year-old British male passenger died of suspected heart attack during the incident. Divorce in the country is now one step closer to reality after the House of Representatives approved on third and final reading House Bill 9349, or the proposed Absolute Divorce Act. The House voted to pass the bill with 126 affirmative votes, 109 negative votes, and 20 abstentions. Under the bill, the grounds for absolute divorce include psychological incapacity, irreconcilable differences, domestic or marital abuse, sex reassignment or transitioning, and separation of the spouses for at least 5 years. Other grounds include pressure to change a religious or political stance, inducing a spouse or child into prostitution, addiction to vices such as drugs, alcohol, or gambling, marital infidelity, insanity, fraud, and abandonment, among others. Albay Representative Edsa Lagman says by legalizing divorce, the Philippines acknowledges the need to provide options for spouses trapped in unhappy, harmful, and irreparable marriages. He says legalizing divorce means a significant shift in society's treatment of marriage and relationships. Lagman clarifies that separation by divorce will require judicial scrutiny so it won't be abused. He adds if the parties happen to agree to reconcile, the petition is dismissed. The low-pressure area traced east of Mindanao has entered the Philippine area of responsibility. Weather Bureau Pagasa says the LPA entered PAR at 5 a.m. today and was located 945 kilometers east of southeastern Mindanao. It is likely to recurve and approach eastern Visayas and then move towards the eastern section of Luzon. The LPA may also develop by Friday into a tropical depression, which will then be named Aghon. The Department of Science and Technology earlier said there is 62% chance that the country would experience La Nina, which is associated with above-normal rainfall conditions this June. Meantime, the country will continue to experience fair weather with a chance of isolated rain showers brought by the easterlies. At least 43 areas are forecast to experience danger level heat indices, peaking at 47 degrees Celsius in Giwan, Eastern Samar. On the other hand, Metro Manila may experience a heat index of 42 to 43 degrees Celsius. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the Pna Headlines. For more news updates, please visit our website, pna.gov.ph, or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The Pna Headlines is also streamed via the Serbisyo Facebook page. You may also watch the Pna Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account via the News and Information Bureau website, nib.gov.ph under Pna News, or on the Facebook page of the Presidential Communications Office, or PCO. I'm Bench Bondok, and this is the Pna Headlines, bringing stories that unite the nation.